We need you guys to watch to the end of the video. This video is taken at the end of our video, but I'm cutting it to the front. We did a Mount Rushmore of candies. And when I tell you Roy had the craziest 4 choices ever. No, Roy, be quiet. This is going to the video. I need you guys to listen to this candy draft and rank the 3 of us. I don't give a shit if you put me or Bryce first. I have got to see how many people vote for Roy to finish in 3rd. Please watch. If you're not going to watch the video, I don't care. Skip to the end of the video to our candy draft, and please watch it and then put it in the comments. If there is not one comment on 1, 2, and 3 for the candy draft, we will not make a video next week. That is the first thing that's going on to our video. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the video. Welcome back to Triple Off Sports Talk. I'm Josh. That's Roy. Hey, look who's back. Bryce is over there. Nice sweatshirt. Really like it. Bryce, I'm not going to lie. I might be wearing your hat, but that's okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So, first off, episode 40. Finally hit 40. Noticed that today. So, that's cool. Appreciate the support on the channel. Bryce, I know you missed it. The first one that you didn't get to record 2 weeks ago has become, besides our first episode where everyone just clicked on it, became our most watched video with 89 views.
Sweet.
And then last week, for the reaction of the deadline, we got about 40-ish, 35, 40. So appreciate the support. Football's getting ready to come up. Baseball is in that weird period where there's just 2 months left until the playoffs. We want you guys to go ahead and go in the comment section right away. Put what you want us to talk about for football, how you want us to talk. You want to talk training camp? Do you want us to talk about Hard Knocks, which comes out tonight for the Bears? Do you want to talk about, a certain team for football? Do you not want to talk about football until the season's closer? Let us know so we kind of know how to navigate for the future. But other than that, I think we just jump right into our draft. So we haven't updated our draft because last week without Bryce, we didn't change the teams. So we haven't updated it in 6 weeks, or 6 weeks, 6 days, but it is August, so technically we're allowed to change. And at the time of August or July 31st, Roy was in last place with 333 wins. So Roy, I stopped it after the 31st. So Roy, if you would like to make any changes, go ahead, and all the wins will go back to the first. So if let's just say you got rid of the Red Sox, but they've won 3 games since now. You're not getting those wins. You'll go back to the first.
I'm not. Unless you guys drop somebody, I'm not dropping anybody right now.
Okay. Bryce?
I'm looking at the dock right now.
You picking up the Cubs again?
I thought about doing that, yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm trying to see my team.
You have Orioles, Yankees, Tigers, Padres, Royals, A's.
All right.
Cubs are available in Tier 2.
Yeah. I'm going to drop the Tigers and pick up the Cubs.
Okay.
It's probably a good.
I can see that. I'm also going to make a change. I'm going to drop the Cardinals, and I'm going to add the Twins.
Yeah, I thought about just picking up the Twins just because I thought maybe you would try to do that. But I couldn't get rid of the Brewers or the Mets. So,
and then my wraparound, I'm not going to make any changes. So I'm out. So Bryce, would you like to make any more changes?
I think I'm good.
And then Roy, since there was changes, do you want to make anything?
No, because you guys did Tier 2. I was hoping you might want to do some of the other ones.
Okay, so then,
if you want to make that trade, Astros for the Yankees, I'd do that.
I never said that.
I mean, I know how much Josh wants the Astros because his favorite player's on that team.
I'd take the fucking White Sox before I took the Astros.
Whatever. Altuve is your favorite player.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'm gonna just log on off. So those are the 2 changes. Next week we'll give you a very big update because it's going to be almost 2 weeks worth of games into the game. I mean, at the end of July, which I have the standings, Roy was in 3rd with 333. Bryce was 2 ahead with 335. and I was 12 ahead of Bryce at 347. But Roy really made up some ground with the Orioles and Yankees really struggling. And for me, the Guardians, Braves, and Phillies really struggling. Some of those teams have turned it on. And I don't know if Roy got a loss for the Mets in the month of July because they won every game. But
and Houston got on a hot streak.
So Roy really caught up. But I do think Roy will still be in last. I think me and Bryce have had a lot better of a week than Roy. I think. I don't know for sure, but I know my teams have won this week, so we'll see what next week holds. I think that's just going to take us in the standings. Roy, you want to go over them?
Yeah, let's go with American League East. You got Baltimore and the Yankees tied at 67 and 46. Boston is 6 games back at 60 and 51. Tampa 57-54, 9 games back, and Toronto is 51 and 61, 15 and a half games back. AL Central, Cleveland 67-45, best record percentage wise in baseball right now. And then you have Minnesota, who's 3.5 back at 63 and 48. Kansas City is 63 and 51, 5 games back. Then you have Detroit at 53 and 60, 14 and a half games back, and then the worst team in maybe history, 27 and 88 at 41 and a half games back, is the White Sox. Then you got the AL West, Seattle 59 and 54, 1.5 games back is Houston at 57-55. Rangers are 5 games back at 54 and 59. And then you have the Angels at 49 and 63, 9.5 games back, and then Oakland 47 and 67, 12.5 games back. Then we get into National League. You got Philly 66 and 46. And they are 5.5 games back, or 5 games ahead of Atlanta Braves, 60-51. Then you have the Mets, who did not lose a lot and made a bunch of ground. They're at 59-53, 7 games back. Washington, 51-62. They're 15 and a half games back. And then Miami Marlins, 42-71, 24-5. Or 24 and a half games back, sorry. NL Central, somehow Milwaukee still stays in the lead at 62-49. Pittsburgh is second and 56 and 55, 6 games back. St. Louis right there, 57-56, 6 games back. Cincinnati at 54 and 58, 8.5 games back. And then the Cubs, 55 and 60, 9 games back. Then we got the NL West. The Dodgers, 66 and 47, lead it. Arizona, 61 and 52, 5 games back. The Padres at 61 and 52 are 5 games back. And then San Francisco is 57 and 57, 9.5 games back. And then the bringing up the rear there, 41 and 72 is the Colorado Rockies, 25 games back.
Yep. All right. Bryce, it's been a few weeks since you've been on, so some of these standings probably look a lot different from the last time you were on. What do you notice when you look at those standings?
The biggest thing that's jumping out to me right now is the Phillies have been struggling a lot recently. They're 2-8 in their last 10, and the Braves are still 5.5 games back because they had a solid lead, but they're looking like they're struggling and looking like a beatable team for once this season. So something to look out for in the playoffs. They don't turn it back on soon.
Yeah. Roy, how about you? When you look at the standings, I know we haven't covered the standings in 2 weeks, so it's been a while since we went over them. What's the difference that you see?
Well, I mean, it's funny how bad Texas has been, and they're still 5 games out of the division, and that surprises me. And then the NL Central, you're still only 7 games or 9 games difference between them. Technically, only 7 in the win column, and then that's another. We still got 2 more months, so who knows what's going to happen out of those things. So those are 2 things that really pop out, and I'm just like. We talked about the NL Central or NL Central all year about how close they are and how it's just never. No one's ever really take command of the division, and they both. I mean, you look at them; they've all been 4-6, 5-5, 4-6, 5-5, and 6-4 in the last 10. So it's not like, hey, we're getting to the playoffs here. We got to get some wins. So that surprises me.
Yeah, you nailed it, Roy. Especially in the NL Central, no one's taking advantage and run away. I feel like that's been the theme in baseball this year. Like you look at beginning of the year, you look at Baltimore, you look at the Yankees, you look at the Guardians, you look at the Mariners. Those were the 4 teams that the first 2 months looked like a runaway in most divisions. Seattle mainly because of how bad the rest of the division played, but still. But the last month, Roy, you can attest for it because we've been watching. Those 4 good teams have played like absolute shit. I'm talking some of the worst baseball in baseball. And it's let all these teams stick around. I mean, you look at Tampa. Tampa sold their whole team. They're 9 games back and 4 out of a wild card. So these teams haven't taken advantage of having a good lead. But if I'm going to focus in on something that I look at that's been different is the Minnesota Twins. I mean, they are 15 games over 500, and they're 3 back of what has been the best team in the American League consistently is the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, they're a sweep away of the Guardians to being in first place, basically, and having home field advantage through the playoffs. So it's weird because I know they play in a poor division, and they're getting a few more games. You know, they get the White Sox, they get the Tigers who sold, but they've really positioned themselves well to, take a crack. And then the other one that I think stands out is the NL West. I mean, we've looked at the Dodgers as a juggernaut, and even though they haven't played that bad, I mean, they're almost 20 games, they're 19 games over 500. Arizona, San Diego, and San Fran, even though San Fran was down quite a bit, are all 8-2 in their last 10. And you look at Arizona, who had most of the season didn't even look like they were even close to a playoff team. They're in the wild card, and they're almost 10 games over 500. They're 5 games back to the Dodgers. Yes, I still think the Dodgers win the division, but the ground that they've made up in the last month, I'll say it's put them in a shot to where they can strike if they have a good series and the Dodgers have a bad series.
Yep.
So that's the standings. We're going to go a little bit more in depth on talking points. Roy, I'll go with you. Do you have any talking points you want to talk about? Maybe not standing related, but player related, trade deadline related, maybe post trade deadline, what you've seen, anything.
What I want to talk about is my problem is the Chicago White Sox. How do you lose 20 games in a row? I mean,
they're at 21.
They lost today.
I don't think they played. Yesterday was 21. I can see it on the standing. It said 21 losing streak.
I didn't even look.
Yeah.
So 20. They've lost 20 once. 23 is the record. So they are coming up on the record, and that was the Cleveland or the Guardians in like 1960 something. So it's been a long time, and it's I think it's because that lack of effort, the lack of just. I mean, I happened just to watch in a couple innings last week. Simple ground ball, kicked it. I mean, just plays ML players should not be making, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for baseball. I don't even know how Chicago White Sox fans can even go to it. I mean, it's embarrassing. Like, I want to go see the Yankees are in town next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
or is it next week? Might be next week. I want to go. Tickets are cheap, but I don't want to waste a freaking night to drive up there to watch hopefully Yankees whip the crap out of them. That's just a pointless 3-hour drive to go up there and watch it and get home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Just stupid. So it's an embarrassment for baseball. I hate it. So I just can't. The owners, the GM, they all should be fined, looked at something, because that's ridiculous if you're having this kind of trouble and filling a team just like this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bryce.
My talking point was going to be a little bit similar because it's actually kind of funny thing about the losing streak coming up is the White Sox are scheduled to play the Cubs the day that they would break the losing streak, and they also have a post-game fireworks show after the game already scheduled. So if they do break it, they're going to be celebrating with some fireworks afterwards.
Hey, they're going to break history. Or they'll beat the Cubs.
That could happen.
Bryce, I want to talk to you a little bit because, again, you weren't on for our trade deadline talks. What did you think of the trade deadline? It doesn't have to be really in-depth. It doesn't have to be about the Cubs per se. It can be, but just what did you think about the deadline?
There was a few people that I kind of thought all season would move, kind of like Vladdy and Pete Alonso, who ended up not moving. I mean, their teams played a lot better up towards the deadline, which kind of made it happen. But the only thing I really didn't like was losing Christopher Morel. I mean, that guy might be Barry Bonds within the next few years.
Yeah, probably will against the Yankees.
3 home runs since he got traded. But Isaac Paredes, I think, is a good fit. Our GM was basically saying that all of our moves are for the future, and we got Isaac Paredes locked up for another 2 years. So it wasn't really like a buy. It was more of a future thing. So,
well,
just not as exciting as I thought it might have been.
Yeah, well, I thought the Cubs did great, especially in the Mark Leiter trade. I thought it was a fantastic trade.
Yeah, that's a horrible trade. I mean, I could not believe we got rid of him.
Because he came in the other night, pitched 1.2 innings and struck out 4 and got us out of a jam and extras and won us the game.
Yeah.
That dude's got – and I don't remember who said it. Somebody on the Yankees staff said this. That dude has balls. That's literally what they call him balls because he's got them.
I could not – I saw the trade. I was like, I mean, what are we even doing now? Like, how is that preparing for the future by getting
I agree. I understand I understood what he meant by it with the Paredes trade because Paredes still has years of control. But then the Mark Leiter trade happens and it makes no sense. Like none. So
also in the Paredes trade, we sent another bullpen arm with Hunter Bidgie, who just came up, and he was our only reliever of all year to strike out 3 batters, and decided to send him away too.
Yep, but for the future. Yeah. Me and Roy, we went over the deadline, last week, so we got that out of our system. My talking point is I want to talk about the NL in general, because we talked about it about a month ago, how congested the wild card was. And as the wild card, yes, there's been a little bit of separation. That's just going to happen in a month span. It won't load, of course. The regular standings for the divisions have really tightened up. Like Bryce said, the Phillies haven't played well. Atlanta's 5.5 back, but Atlanta's not playing that well either. The Mets are only 7 back. Now, 7 back is, that's more than a series. But you look at the Central, like Roy said, nobody looks like they should win the Central. That's how it's been all year. But, Chicago is at the moment, the worst team in the Central. They are 9 games back. That can be made in a month. We've already seen it. Yeah. And then you look at the West. Looks dead to rights, and the Dodgers are going to win, even though they still might. You have 2 teams that are 5 games back. So this NL picture has gotten really crowded, and I want to ask you guys, of the 3 division leaders who have been there, I almost want to say all year long. I don't know if this first-place teams have ever switched. It's been the Dodgers, Brewers, Phillies. Do you guys think all 3 of those teams win their divisions? Or do you think there's a change somewhere?
Go ahead.
Bryce?
Man, it's hard to see any of those teams moving. The only one that I see could be likely moving is the Brewers, but they just win games and they stay ahead. They do it every season. It's probably what's going to happen again, so I don't see them moving either.
I agree. I think it's going to be all 3. We'll end up winning the division. Other than Atlanta early on in the year was ahead of Philly for a little while. Phillies dominate that division. I really think it's going to be those 3 teams, and then they're going to battle out for the final or the other 3 wild cards. And so I don't think there'll be a change.
Yeah, I'm torn. I don't think there's going to be a change in the Central because I don't think any of the teams in the Central are good enough to play consistent baseball to get ahead of the Brewers. I don't even think it's the Brewers that are that good. They're the worst of the 3 teams, but I just don't think the other teams are good enough right now. I don't think the Phillies are going to do it for almost the same reason. Atlanta's not playing well, and I just don't think the Mets are going to overtake the Phillies. But out west, man, you look at the Dodgers, and that pitching rotation's been just depleted with injuries all year. They lose Mookie about a month ago, and that's kind of when their struggles began. Freddie has been out for a few weeks because of some health issues to his son, but that's a different story. He's back. But, man, San Diego's deadline, Roy, we talked about it. They really beefed up that bullpen a lot. They're getting Joe Musgrove back here soon. I still just think the Dodgers will eventually play better, but I really could see the Padres taking, at least for a little bit, maybe not the whole, maybe they don't end in first. But, if the Dodgers play the Padres and the Padres get like a 3 of the 4 or something like that, I could really see the Padres taking a lead because, man, they're playing really good. They get Pittsburgh and then I think the White Sox again the next 2 weeks. So I think they have a path to do it, but that's just my take. The NL to me is fascinating. And then on the AL, you have 5 teams that are competing for 5 spots. The AL to me is so much less dramatic than the NL this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot else other than that. We're in the dog days of baseball.
The fun days.
The exciting portion. has gone past the deadline. These are the teams. It's to me at this point, it's about getting hot and being healthy. It's the two main things in baseball. You get especially getting healthy. You get healthy and get hot. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you can get in. You're just jockeying for positions at this point and to get in. Football is getting ready to start. You guys have anything else on baseball?
No.
We're not going to get into football in this episode, but I would just like to say, like I said earlier, for us, the first episode of Hard Knocks for the Bears comes out tonight. If you guys have never seen Hard Knocks, I'm not a Bears fan by any means. I do like some of their young players they got now. They're just fun to watch. Watch it. It is so in-depth behind the scenes of football, what like training camp is like. It's a great watch, even if you don't like the team. But again, go in the comment section and talk about what we should talk about for football related for the next few weeks. We don't want to jump into it too early, but we also don't want to go too late and make these episodes 2 hours long. So, you guys got anything else?
No. You talk about football. College football starts up in 3 weeks now. Can't wait.
Yeah,
that's what I look forward to. It's a lot of teams with the expanded playoff. This is going to be an interesting year to see.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a group that's going to have 2-3 losses and see who's the better team. It's going to be interesting. I love it. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryce, anything else?
The Hall of Fame game the other day, I don't know if anybody watched it because it was all backups. And I think that I heard Aaron Rodgers talking about it as all people, the guy I hate the most. He's talked about bringing back preseason and actually letting starters play for a little bit, which I think is that you definitely should. It's football. It's entertainment. It's kind of your job to go out and play. I think it's bullshit when people sit anytime.
Yeah, I see it both ways. I from a fan perspective, I get it. You don't want to watch a football game with fourth strings playing. I get it, but at the end of the day, they also don't get paid for preseason, like not a dollar. Now they make enough money in the regular season, I get, but
they're making millions of
dollars. Yeah, no, I understand. I get it from both views, but they don't get paid, and they have nothing to benefit other than an injury. So I do see it both ways. I'd much rather them just not have preseason, just have training camp. That's it, and maybe scrimmages. But then I also like it because those second and third stringers get to fight for their jobs. So again, it's one of those hard ones.
Yeah, I mean the Bears had a receiver I've never heard of make like 4 diving catches in the Hall of Fame game.
He might make the team as a special teamer or a fifth string receiver, and then 3 injuries happen. He sees things like that. So it's got its pluses and minuses. But yeah, I do hate every single starting quarterback doesn't touch the field in preseason. Like, get them a damn series out there. I don't know. I get it, but
it's the Hall of Fame game representing the Hall of Famers, and you've got fucking Badgett throwing screen passes.
That was your starter last year
for a game.
It's still your starter. I think that's just going to take us to our miscellaneous. It's going to be a quick episode. We don't have a whole lot else to talk about. You guys good with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to do a lock. It's a game. It's not really a game. It's more of a question, and I want to see if you guys can give me the players. You guys ready?
Yep.
I'm at work today, and I'm thinking of preseason football. And I'm thinking Hall of Fame game. And then it started to make me wonder, because I was looking at MLB standings at the moment, who was the first 5 players ever inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame? Ever. First 5. And you guys know them. It's not like they're like, who the hell is that? No, I'm not saying you'll know.
Well, Babe Ruth has got to be one of them.
Is that your guess? There's 5 players. I'll give you guys 10 guesses. Babe Ruth? Babe Ruth is correct.
I'm going to say Cy Young.
That a guess? That is incorrect.
I didn't hear what you said.
Said Cy Young.
What about Mickey Mantle, Roy?
No, I mean, he didn't get in until you're talking. It's later.
The class. This Gehrig. Is the inaugural class of 1936.
Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig is not correct.
What? Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner is correct.
Okay.
You've got 2 of 5, and you've had 4 guesses. I'll give you guys a hint. after your next guess.
Christy Matheson or Matt.
Christy Mathewson is correct. That was one I didn't know if you guys would get. Roy would get. So that's 5 guesses. You've gotten 3 correct. I'll give you a hint that I was going to give you. 1 left is a hitter. 1 left is a pitcher.
Roy is the pitcher. Bob Gibson.
No, it's too late. He didn't pitch till the 60s. Yeah, I mean, you were talking. They had to pitch. They had to play in freaking 1900s or early 1900s and 1920s. Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb is correct. That's the hitter.
Wow.
You've gotten 4 of 5. I think this is the hardest one, but you will know the name. And he is the pitcher.
He's probably throwing spitballs back then.
100%.
Yeah.
He's got loogies on every other splitter.
I'm drawing blank because everybody can think of is in the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Just spit some names out.
I'm trying to think of one deep back then because I mean I'm coming with Sandy Koufax and people, and I know that they're not on the list.
Yeah.
Damn it. Got any?
Bryce, you got a guess?
Because I am.
No, I can't think of any pitchers from back
Because I'm
then.
gonna be pissed when I hear the name. I know I am.
Yeah.
Do I know who this is?
He has been in MLB The Show. I don't know when he was in it last. I've heard this name many times. I would never guess it, like come up with it, but I do know this name. So if I know it, I know you. I know Roy knows the name. Bryce, you might not know the name,
Does it
but
start with a G last name,
no.
and then I'm way off.
Who was it?
I can't. I like Grigor or Greg, something like that. I was thinking of, and I give up. Give up, Bryce.
Okay. I have a bonus question afterwards with the same concept. The last name you're missing is Walter Johnson.
Oh,
Walter Johnson.
God, I remember watching him, man. Walter Johnson is the last name.
never even crossed my mind.
I know.
Going way back, and
But here's the bonus question, and I'll even give you guys. Yeah, I won't say that. That was the inaugural class of 1936.
Damn it.
Of the 5, one of them received 222 out of 226 ballot casts. Which person was it? So it was basically the number 1 player voted in. Of the 5 that I named, Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, Chrissy Mathewson, and Walter Johnson. Who was considered the easy, the lock, I'll call it.
I would say Babe Ruth.
Honus Wagner.
Okay, so you both have different answers. You want to just separately go?
Sure.
You're both incorrect.
It's probably Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb was at the time the number 1 player in.
I was going to say him, but I was like, it should be Babe Ruth.
I figured it would be Babe Ruth, but I think his personality also drove that away a little bit. My guess. I wasn't there then.
His career didn't really go well.
Yeah.
And then,
So that's what I got. I thought that was kind of interesting because I was at work and I go, I thought about it and I go, I couldn't tell you who the first group of Hall of Famers ever were. So cool.
I got 4. And I knew number 5.
Yeah,
I didn't know it.
Chrissy Mathewson was a good pull. I didn't think you guys would get either of the pitchers.
I should have got Walter Johnson. I don't even know how I missed that one.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
All right. Bryce, you got a game?
I got a Mount Rushmore again because we're still
Okay.
in Mount Rushmore season. And I was kind of talking about this one yesterday. So we're going to do 4 again, same snake draft we always do. And this time is going to be Mount Rushmore of candies.
Oh,
Because I
man.
know Roy's going to have some crazy answers on this one.
I can't wait.
I doubt it.
I know some of Roy's answers.
Were we talking candies? Chocolate counts as a candy, or are we talking?
We're talking about our
'cause
favorite, right? Our favorite.
Okay, that I'm making sure. I agree. Some people view chocolate as not being part of a candy, like it needs to be like a sugar candy. So that's why I asked, because I think some people are psychopaths. Because chocolate is a candy. So okay.
So it would go Josh, me, Roy, right?
So our favorite candy.
No,
No, I got my 4 off the top of my head because there was only. 4.
I'll go third. Bryce, you go first, then Roy, then I'll wrap it.
All right. Well, then number one, I'm taking Reese's overall. Reese's is my favorite candy.
Peanut butter cup?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's more Reese's than just that. That's why I was asking.
If I were to get specific, I would say the sticks are actually my favorite, but I'm just going to go Reese's as my favorite.
Okay.
Tootsie Rolls. That is by far.
Oh,
I knew that was his number one.
God.
That's exactly why I wanted to do this, because I knew that was his number one candy.
My mom, Roy, my mom is in agreement with you.
Yeah, that's the greatest candy ever.
That's crazy. I like them.
Really shitty
but
toffee.
Yeah, to throw those up, that's crazy. To throw that up now, that's crazy.
Overall, for one of the
number one overall.
That is insane.
You'll like my number two then too.
I think I know what it is. I bet I could guess it.
I'll give you a chance.
I have a lot. I just don't know which one I want to use. I'm gonna go M&M's. I'm a big sucker for M&M's. I eat it in my ice cream every day, or anytime. So I will go M&M's
every day. Damn.
I eat ice cream every day. And then I'm gonna wrap it with Reese's Pieces.
So basically the same thing.
Yeah,
Reese's Pieces and M&M's are the same candy. God,
it's got a little peanut butter in it.
Hey, it's got peanut butter and it counts.
Gosh,
you go to peanut butter M&Ms are better than Reese's Pieces.
No, they're not. Those things suck.
Peanut butter M&Ms is the best M&Ms of the bunch.
Oh my, caramel M&Ms.
No. All right, so it's my turn. Bryce, what do you think is my number two?
I want to say that you're going to say 100 grand bar.
Damn straight, I'm saying 100
Oh
grand
my
bar.
gosh.
Damn straight.
I knew he was going to say that.
What even is that?
The 100 grand. 100 grand.
I've never even heard of that, Roy.
Oh man, that's the best candy bar.
You're on meth.
Of a doubt, they are decent candy bars, but I mean, it's straight old people candy.
I'm giving this guy my money to invest, and he's taking graham cracker cookies as his thing.
No, I'm buying you one at Drill next time.
Oh my god, I won't eat it.
100 grand bar.
Have you ever had a Star Crunch like little Josh? They're kind of like that.
Oh well, Star Crunches are okay.
They're not bad.
I mean, I'm not saying it's anything crazy, but okay.
You guys don't like.
At least now I know what it kind of is. Okay.
I knew those two would be on his list, and that's why I wanted to do this.
Yep, those are my two favorite. About the only two things I eat.
It's coming back to me, and my second favorite is Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah. I thought about that, but
don't even like them.
And then for my third, Nerds Clusters. If you've ever had.
Hold on, are those little balls
of Nerds with the little goo in the middle?
It's like a gummy.
Yes.
I had those for the first time last week. Gas.
They're life-changing.
The berry flavored ones.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. I thought about taking those, but I'm like, I can't pick that if I've only had them one time. So
yeah, I mean, I have them every time I see them.
Jeez.
Yeah, those are gas. That's a great pick.
Yep, I'm winning this one by far. Come on.
No, mine are the best.
Oh my god.
Mine are the best. And I'm gonna add Snickers to this next one.
Now that's a good pick.
You could have taken that first.
Yeah, you really should have.
The other two are the best. I'm going to my favorite. Or I only have 4 that I eat.
That was my next pick, Roy, was a Snickers bar. So that's a good pick.
I only have about 4 that I eat. So there he is.
I know what one of my picks will be. I'm just trying to think of what I want the other one to be. Okay. My next one is going to be sour Skittles. Okay.
This
gas.
Is staying with the same candies.
And then this one's going to throw. This one is a little different. This was my personal favorite as a kid. I don't eat them much anymore. They're way too sweet. Milk Duds. Best Halloween candy, by the way. When you get those little packets of 4. Well, I didn't grow up in a rich neighborhood, so Milk Duds was the GOAT.
No, you didn't name one that I eat. So besides M&Ms. So
yeah, you're right. I haven't heard of half the stuff you eat.
All right.
If you say one more thing that I think you're going to say,
what am I going to say?
I have no clue. So say it. But
Probably some butterscotch or something old people candy.
I do like butterscotch or the butterscotch.
You say like a Babe Ruth or something like, or a Ruth candy bar.
Not a Babe Ruth fan. That is not a good one. I mean, I do eat Hershey chocolates, but I'm not gonna say that one either.
I do too.
Guys, so now I can think of the one I was gonna. I do eat Milky Ways.
Milky Ways.
That's the same thing as Snickers without nuts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I love Milky Ways, but
All right.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
For my last one, I think I'm so far ahead right now. I'm just gonna take my actual fourth favorite and not like a value one, and I'm gonna go Dots. Have you ever had Dots?
Yeah, I hate. That's the gummy one, right?
Yeah,
I'd let you
I
guys
hate
have
those
your
things.
stuff all day long.
I love those.
Can't.
That's the first one that someone said that I actually like. Don't like. Like I don't like them.
No, I should have gone with the butterscotch little candies that they have at the Legion. That's wrapped up in a little yellow thing. Those are awesome.
Who goes to the Legion?
Huh?
Nobody goes to the Legion, Roy.
I do, and it's great.
Why don't we just go to the VFW while we're at it?
That's what's wrong with the VFW. Those are great. The Legion has these little candies. That's the main reason why I go there, to get those little candies. They're awesome.
Terrible.
My team won, or mine are one.
Well, at least we know Roy finishing last.
No, I want everybody to comment about how much they love
We will.
Tootsie Rolls, 100 gram, because those are two best candies on planet. So this is a guy, guess the player. All right. And I'll tell you when he played for him. He played from 2001 to 2013. Okay.
What sport?
Baseball. This is baseball.
Okay, now say that again.
He played baseball from 2001 to 2013. Okay.
Right when I got into being knowledgeable.
All right. He started with the Astros, then went to the Phillies, the Rangers, and ended up with the Rockies.
Say the teams again.
Astros, Phillies, Texas, Rangers, and then the Rockies. He was mostly known as an Astro, but he did really well with the Phillies, and then he ended up with the Rockies or Rangers and Rockies last 2 years.
I have a guess, but I only know him as an Astro. I literally don't know him as another team. Couldn't tell you. I just doesn't feel like the right path for the guy I'm thinking of. I don't know if he played for any of those teams outside of the Astros. Bryce, you have anything?
No.
Roy, I have the player in my head. Can you tell me his position?
Pitcher.
It's okay. It's not the guy that I thought, so he's out. So I don't have the right guy. Astros, Phillies, Rangers, Rockies. No, I don't have it.
You give up? It's Roy Oswald.
Wow, I know who that is. I didn't know he played for the Rangers or the Rockies.
Yeah.
I was in the right time frame because in my head I went through Cole Hamels, who I knew played for the Phillies and the Rangers. And I even said Roy Oswalt, but I didn't know Roy Oswalt played for anyone other than the fucking what's their face?
The Astros and Phillies.
Astro. I know him as an Astro. I do remember him on the Phillies. That's it, though. I don't remember him on the
I remember him as an Astro, but then
I also thought he played longer than that because Cole Hamels played until like 2022.
Yeah.
So I said Oswalt might have made it to like 17, 18-ish, and then I probably, especially Rockies, I never knew he played there.
I didn't know he played for the Rockies. I knew he got traded there at the end to the or signed with the Rangers, but I did not know he played with the Rockies.
All right.
So,
you guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right, that's it.
All right. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, watch the videos all the way through. It really helps the channel grow, even if you don't watch it just at all times. You know, if you're vacuuming, if you're cleaning the house, turn it on, watch it, listen to it, whatever you want to do. Share it. We all got the merch on today. If I can get around the mic. Yeah. Me and Roy are double dipping. But it's Hard Knocks night for Bryce, so I understand that Chicago tonight. Like button, subscribe. 40 weeks in. Peace out. Thank you.
Go tell it how my Candy is the best.
Not a chance.
Gotta find my way to